and the Poppy now can defend
We've
that
got
backline.
Action bot.
As we do see the full comps, it is Akshan bot. So I guess we'll be seeing Jaina on the Swain mid.
Yeah, I would imagine so. We got Nocturne jungle, Action, or unless it's Swain bot lane.
Oh, it could very well be Swain bot lane as well. But with the Braum, that's quite interesting. It could be quite difficult to stack up that passive for the Braum to get that extra stun in.
I think they're probably less thinking about lane and just thinking more like, oh god, we're into Seraphine, Ezreal, Veigar. Like, Braum is pretty good into that. So it's making...
End up being a sad day for Ares.
Yeah, you can imagine so. It's Nocturne is, I think, almost the definition of Feast or Famine jungler, right? Like, if this guy... He's so easy to track, I feel like. Well, not easy to, but, you know, in a way easy to track if he's doing well, because you look at every time he clicks R and you're like, what did you get? And if after the first 3 it's nothing or not much, then the champion can really lose a lot of its utility.
And we do, and that is the strength of the Nocturne, and it does go down a little bit in 5s. I mean, once you're in solo queue, like, where is the Nocturne? Where is the Nocturne? But when you do have that 5s on the comms, they will be instantly, oh, it's me, and you do feel that aspect of safety. But the paranoia, the shutdown, and the vision can be.
Dusk walk into Jaina here, immediately getting the damage on, the passive propping from the Action, probably going to look to get away here. The Cho'Gath knockout coming up as well means that this damage is coming out. The exhaust going to be dropped, the flash going to be dropped as well. Jaina's going to step out, but definitely happy with that trade, getting 2 summoner spells for nothing, still trading out here is definitely coming out on top there for the side of Playback. Playback? Not Playback. The other team, Ass.
Odyssey?
Yeah.
Odyssey and AsstroSmurfs.
Yeah, okay, I know what I'm doing.
I will just say I am still loading in the loading screen, so...
Oh, okay, it's fine. Luckily, they have paused, so they're giving you the time to catch up.
They have given me the time. I'm stuck on 0% for some reason.
If you need me to stream to the call, I can stream to the call instead.
Yeah, that might be useful. I will see if League
I'll do
does
it
decide to
quickly,
let me in.
then
Oh no, I've just got in. Okay, in.
Cool.
What time are they paused at?
They are paused at 1:08.
Cool, I can get to that. Yeah, I'm there. Cool, we are ready.
Yeah, we do. So we did see that early trade already coming out. Means that 2 summoners were burned, the exhaust burned by the Veigar, and the flash burned from Poppy. Just kind of getting a bit hyphy and just face checking.
Just vibe checking,
Yeah, just vibe checking the bush, making sure that someone was there, walked into Akshan and was just like, oh.
I do not belong here.
And then getting knocked up by the Cho'Gath Q afterwards means that, you know, that damage was able to come through, force out that flash. And it'll be interesting to see how that impacts early.
Yeah, we will see if Ares can find this Poppy in her jungle. Maybe without that flash, she could be liable to getting that fear on her and then running her down with a lethal tempo. And without flash, she may struggle, but does also have the safety of the phase rush to get away. Poppy, very annoying with that keystone zooming around you, just stuns you into the wall. It's like, nope, I'm out of here.
We're back in. It is like Poppy. I feel like if Poppy doesn't have flash and Nocturne is able to just on reaction spell shield the E, then it can be really hard for Poppy to do anything, especially if it's just like a 1v1 that getting traded in.
Yes, absolutely, and it all is about that reaction time as well. And it will be the same with Poppy on the Steadfast Presence, stopping the Akshan as well as the Braum, because unfortunately Nocturne is unstoppable during his ult.
Yes.
So it won't be able to stop that. However, we will see that when level 6s start to come through, as AsstroSmurfs did manage to get a ward on this blue buff, so they do have the full information on where the Poppy is starting. I don't believe they have the same vision on the Nocturne, so Nocturne is not spotted as we currently see. So as we mentioned in draft, he is starting that blue side.
Ooh.
And I wonder if he will be just full clearing, or if he wants to get an early influence on the map.
But Rak knew that the Cho'Gath was coming from there, so that means that Cho'Gath is going to miss these XP for these first 3 melee minions, as Rak guarded that river down, made sure that the Cho'Gath had to walk all the way around. So this is going to be a nice early lead just going on for him already.
And with the lethal tempo, Cho'Gath cannot walk into the Trumbull. He will just stack that up and just eat you, chomp you down. As we do see Kargili taking a very hard trade into the level 2 Jaina on the Akshan. Will be suffering a little bit there. Does have the TP and the pots for now.
Yeah, immediately already dropping below their health is going to be very dangerous. I imagine that, you know, you're never really going to win trades against the Akshan. Akshan can just go, well, I'm going to auto Q, and if you see the Swain E land here onto the Seraphine. The Braum follow-up not going to land. Double cage already landing, but no damage to follow up. Just going to be some AP stacks and a back off.
And we do see that focus on scaling coming through for Odyssey. Both tiers onto the Veigar and the Ezreal, looking to stack that up as quickly as possible from the get-go.
even a Cole in the top lane coming out from
Even a
jungle.
Cole in the top lane. Oh wow,
They
fully
are
focused on
scaling.
scaling in this game. So we will see if that works out for them, as they maybe lacking a bit of this early game damage. So they will just be looking to not force the issue, set in their waves,
Ooh,
farm it
some
up.
nice damage.
As we do see that poke come through onto Savannah in that bot lane.
Seraphine does so much damage early.
She does. Once she gets that double cast, if she hits that double Q and you're below that threshold where she gets the extra execute damage, then you are not loving life.
No, definitely. I do feel like that's why this lane can be pretty hard for them. Like, before Seraphine gets levels and before Vigor gets levels, you can create some pressure. But the moment, you know, they have Cage and they have their abilities up, they're able to quite easily pressure, as we do see Ares looking down the bot lane here. Gonna get spotted out by that ward.
We also do see that have the wave held in a really lovely position for them right out front of their tower, and the Nocturne did path down to the bot side, but he's just not going to be able to get any impact with the wave as it is. Swain having to put off that early back. So they will be looking to path towards the mid lane here, but Ezreal, Flash, and Arcane Shift available. Don't think they'll be able to get any punish there, as they did have vision on them right there.
Yeah,
walking up through the river.
Nuts, you know, he's got this wave in a nice position, 10 CS up, Swain just walking back to lane, and they're basically still full HP. It's a very, you know, as far as the first 4 minutes of the game can go, I think Odyssey's going to be very happy, as we do see Poppy looking around this top lane now to maybe try and get something. Tizom sat a bit far back, though, knowing that he doesn't really want to engage. His wave is pushing into them, though, as we do see Vigor Cage drop again. The W going to land with a Q follow-up from Seraphine. Every time you get locked in Cage, you see Poppy go up to top now, get that dash, not able to get it onto the pillar, which is like what I think they were looking for.
I was about to say, I think that's the combo they've been looking for, the Trundle pillar into the Poppy stun. It could be very hard to react to if you're not aware, if you haven't got the awareness of it. So we will see if Poppy will get her back off here. As she has waited, and Nocturne does have the pickaxe over her at this point, already having that first reset. So I don't think this is a trade they want to take, but Cho'Gath positioning very close to that wall.
Oh, not going to land onto the pillar, pushing him away. Still behind, though. The Cho'Gath Q going to land up onto both of them. Able to get the knock-up, is able to flash away. Walking away now. The Ghost burned by Rack, but unfortunately not able to follow up. Knowing that Ares is in that river means that Tizom is going to get away from that, be very happy, as the action also goes in onto the mid lane here. Lots of damage, goes on the tower, takes that tower shot. 2 tower shots coming out as the Ezreal trade goes back onto it.
And we do have flash up still for both Ezreal and the Akshans. They're not willing to burn that. They're neither seeing the opportunity to get the one up over the other. As the bot lane does just come back for their first reset, Vigor still just stacking that tier, that mana, looking to build what looks to be the what is that? The frozen shield item.
Ooh, see flash burned out here. The ult going to come through as well. This is probably going to end up killing them. And first blood going to Jaina in that middle lane with the level 6 advantage means that they're going to be able to get that ult and get that kill onto Kagili. That the E kind of messed up a little on the engage, but able to just, you know, Kagili ran to the left instead of the right, not able to get the block by that tower, means that Jaina's going to be able to secure that kill with that flash. Very
good awareness from Jaina. Just hits the level 6 and instantly takes the advantage over the Ezreal there. And Ezreal not having the awareness that, oh wait, they're level 6, they need to be pathing towards the tower there. So very well played to get that advantage in the mid lane, which we have seen Jaina do quite a few times before. Also up 10 CS as well, so it's not just that kill. So we will see how they can push this advantage coming through as the dragon has now spawned. I wonder if both teams are going to put any priority onto that, because there's a lot of CC on both sides down that bot lane, so it could very well be quite a heavy skirmish where not many people are able to move.
No, yeah, the like Kagili was going even in that lane before that went on, so hopefully can kind of level it back out again as best as he can. But the more the action gets ahead, the more pressure action can create elsewhere on the map, not just necessarily in his lane. Especially when you've got someone like this Trundle who's got this big advantage, is going to be pushed up. If Akshan is able to just, you know, cue the wave, blow it up, he's going to be looking around to get them kills elsewhere.
And if I'm AsstroSmurfs, I'm slightly worried about this Trundle now in the top lane. Up 20 CS, and he was not punished for that gold purchase early on. So once that comes through, he will be up quite a lot of gold over this Cho'Gath, and it will be looking quite scary for him once they hit that level 6 mark, which they have just done now.
My cat is screaming at me, I apologize, I have to open the door.
No worries, no worries. We do see some light trading down the bot lane, a few missed skill shots, but no punishes anywhere. As Poppy is now securing her second blue buff of the game. Walking down, maybe looking for something through the bot lane, come through the lane. If they can get a good Vigor cage, but currently the Braum and the Swain are both on their reset. Braum just pathing up to see if he can get some vision control on this bot side river, potentially looking to set up some early vision for a nice quick Cloud Drake, but Nocturne is currently on his Gromp and not pathing down for it.
He just hit the 6 there, so he's going to be looking for an ult very soon as well. I'm surprised the Veigar lane's kind of neutralized out at this point. In fact, you know, Swain does have that advantage with the minions pushing in now that he's going to have.
But I would say that just an even lane, Odyssey would be very happy with that, just to see their Veigar scale in, not losing any gold or kills to that Swain Braum combo. So I think they will be happy just scaling up here for the first 20 minutes of the game, I'd say. And once we move into that mid game and the map starts to open up and the towers start to fall, we will see if either team can punish the other, as we do see that early Drake come through for AsstroSmurfs. Once they've hit that Nocturne 6 and they could freely engage, Odyssey just deciding, we don't need this, we're happy scaling. They could potentially wait until the third Drake to even start a fight.
Yeah,
I could be happy conceding this early, yeah.
I don't imagine they're going to be interacting for any kind of thing they can. As we do see, Rack does have a huge advantage in this top lane, so he looks to take another trade, but it's how much does it really matter against the Cho'Gath is kind of where it comes to, and how much is the Trundle going to be able to do later. As dumb as that sounds, it does come down to the advantage only matters if it's, you know, being used.
Yeah, and we will have to see if he can spread his advantage to other parts of the map, as we do see him looking towards the proxy, but he may get punished by the Akshan, who is moving up.
Yeah, we did mention earlier about this action.
And he does just blast coming back over, as that is something that Odyssey will have to keep in mind. If you cannot see action on the map, he could be anywhere with that stealth. So they will have to be mindful. It is almost a pseudo Evelyn in the game, so they will have to be careful.
Okay,
Do you see the first Nocturne
down on bot. The Veigar cage is going to be dropped, but the flash into the cage means the Nocturne's going to be able to get the follow-up. The fear as well means that this Veigar is going to fall. The Seraphine just able to walk away as the first Nocturne of the game means that Veigar is going to fall to the side of AsstroSmurfs.
And absolutely massive for the Nocturne being able to get value out of that first ultimate. We do find, like, if Nocturne can't get value out of his first 2 or 3 ultimates, he will start falling behind quite badly. Yeah. The Seraphine was just not in the right position there to be able to back up the Veigar. She was 6, but just couldn't find an angle to get a good ultimate there. So small lack of judgment from Odyssey there, and they are punished for it. Veigar having to blow both summoners, so perhaps a repeat keep coming through as soon as Nocturne gets that ultimate back up again.
Yeah, no flashes burned for the bot lane of AsstroSmurfs. Just the flash being burned by the Nocturne, who, you know, wants to get that kill on his first ult, so making sense that he's going to burn that flash to follow up on the Veigar flash. And yeah, you're right, the Seraphine ult maybe could have ended up saving them a bit if they were in a better position, like back on the lane, able to get the follow-up ult onto the Nocturne, means that they're not going to be auto-attacking that Veigar immediately as much. They might have been able to get away, but because she was in the river and not able to immediately come out and help, it was a bit of a tragedy.
And I would say that that's AsstroSmurfs just taking advantage. They had full vision on the Seraphine. They could see she wasn't close to the Veigar, so easy to pull the trigger for them and not have to burn any summoners themselves.
Definitely, yeah.
So very, very good use of that first Nocturne ult. We will see if they can continue to get value out of it. As they are getting the Herald here as well. Interesting that the Poppy didn't decide to go for that herself whilst they were taking the Drake. I did see Dusk was farming her walls and just farming on her Gromp whilst they were taking that Drake. As you could see Rat caught here.
The Ghost's going to be popped, dodging that Braum ult. Very nice. The resistance is stolen from the Braum as the Nocturne Fear is going to come through. They're looking to try maybe go into the tower here, but the knock-up is not going to hit. They're bashing onto him. He's going to fall eventually with tower shots landing on them. That doesn't mean enough, as he's still going to fall as a 3-man top lane. Maybe the Herald going to be dropped as well as they look to push their advantage.
And Rack, we can see maybe getting a bit over-ambitious there. If we look at the vision on the top side, there is none.
There is 0.
AsstroSmurfs recognizing that and punishing appropriately, and they do get that Herald charge. So with Cho'Gath getting that kill and the tower gold, he has started to claw back a little bit of that gold that he was down. Though Rack is still up about 800 gold, so he will still be able to punish, hopefully, for Odyssey. But yeah, very good punish from the AsstroSmurfs there, recognizing that he has no vision, he's out of position. Let's go.
Looking to go here as the Veigar cage going to land, but the Swain ult afterwards means that they're going to have to back off and not follow up as the Braum shows up into the lane as well. But yeah, you're right. As you were saying about that top lane, it's like, honestly, whenever Nocturne gets a gank off and he's not using his ult to get a kill, then it feels pretty good, you know?
An interesting first item for the Cho'Gath. He has decided to build that Anathema's Chains. I wonder who he's going to put that onto.
Oh, can I see who it's on? Let's see.
It must just be the Trundle, as I see he's just used it there.
Yeah, okay, so the Nocturne are going to follow up onto the Trundle here. The knock-up not going to land, but he's looking to fall here as the Fear is going to mean he's going to run away, and Ares able to get that kill. Another one landing onto Rack. Immediately, this lane is turning into a much worse than it was. The Seraphine not going to land here. Looking a bit greedy as that's not going to get anything onto it. The damage now coming out. Judgy wants this kill, but with Poppy coming into the lane, maybe can look to get a follow-up. The flash going to be burned by Swain, means that he can get away. The E going to land as well, means that they're rooted up and able to get away safely on the side of AsstroSmurfs. Nothing able to gain for Odyssey there on the return.
Well, Sapana did have to burn the summoners there. I think he will be quite happy with that. They did get the Seraphine ult. They did get a bit of damage on the tower. And we do see them now getting this push in. I wonder if they're going to get any tower damage. But the action is moving down. And as we said earlier, if you can't see the action, you have to assume he's coming for you. Nocturne ult is down.
Well, this is going to be dangerous.
They could be looking at a position here.
Oh no!
Judgy needs to be careful.
Very tragic here as the E's going to immediately come through. The Vigor cage dropped, the exhaust dropped as well, but the Brawl ult going to mean the knock up on this Vigor means that it's going to be an easy follow up. Judgy walking away on a slither of health. Is the Q going to land? The Swain the Vigor falling on the side. Is Judgy able to get that Q landing on him, meaning that he's going to fall as well? Poppy here to try and help out, but just going to look like she falls as well as the Brawn passive going to pop. They're looking to dive into the tower, not able to get it. Beckler going to fall, but it's unfortunately an execute, meaning that it's still 0 kills on the side of Odyssey.
And Rack now beating down this top lane, but it will be another Drake, you'd assume, for AsstroSmurfs, as they did just get those kills in the bot lane, so Nocturne just going to be looking to take that one by himself, as they look to get some command in the into Odyssey's side of the jungle, as we do see action there. Oh, it is dangerous up here.
Rack with the resistances means that he's going to try and get behind him, make sure that he can't get away. Nice dodge on the Q there. This is going to be a lot of autos, but I think T-Zums is just going to be able to walk away. You don't have any extra CC. The slow going to land. The pillar up in a second. The knock-up going to land, meaning that definitely not able to get that kill. As we see Poppy getting pressured in her own jungle by this action, means that she's not able to take her own Gromp anymore.
As you do see Odyssey now starting to, AsstroSmurfs even starting to take more control of the game, with now set at a 2k gold lead, come out to 50 minutes, as well as securing both the Herald and 2 Drakes now, so really running away with the macro play. Yeah, it does feel a lot worse than that, yeah. With the double dragon, the very low
ready
tower.
For the tower dive there. T-Zum's going to be there as the follow-up, but able to get the flash away means his tower shot's going to fall, and Rack is going to fall again to T-Zums in the top lane, and this is so quickly going downhill. We were talking about the advantage he had earlier, was able to build up, but as you mentioned, you know, we had the action, we had the Nocturne shot. If you're pushed up into that lane and your lanes aren't creating any pressure elsewhere, that means that the opponent's just going to get free reign to do what they want, as we see Nocturne chilling in the Bosch down on bot side. Maybe looking to get an ult here.
And it is unfortunate for Rack. We did see that massive CS lead he built for himself, and still has now, but he is just, the Cho'Gath is just getting the backup of his team to just cover up his weaknesses. And now the Trundle at 0-3 has nothing to show for it, really. A bit of tower damage, but they did manage to even it out with the Herald themselves, so we'll be feeling bad about that one.
Yeah, it feels kind of bad. It's one of those situations where you're like, if this was solo queue, you'd be like, fuck, I'd be winning my lane if the other teammates didn't exist, you know? Because every time he's looking to get a play, even if that play was pretty obvious, I felt like Beckler was good on him for being very aware and being like, oh, you know, my Cho'Gath is on 20% HP, and this Trundle is definitely going to look for the dive there. Ready to follow up means they're able to get it, as we see Akshan hovering around that top lane, maybe to look to target Rack even more. We talked about earlier in the draft phase, talking about where they're going to look to attack maybe on the side, and maybe looking to target Rack's over-aggressiveness a bit with the way that he's playing in lane.
And we do see Rack has taken the Ghost and has no flash, so he does just have to position himself with his speed to be getting out of these Cho'Gath knockups. And maybe if he had flash in some of those other fights, he'd have gotten out, but yeah, as we said, great awareness from Beckler to be covering that dive, as Nocturne is now pathing top and does have the ultimate. I wonder if we're going to be seeing him build towards the Aximark, just to be going for those perma-spam ultimates, as Poppy does know she's now seeing. He didn't have vision there. I think Poppy had just cleared a ward.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. I was like, huh? How did he know?
As we do see Odyssey sending 4 people up to this top side now. I wonder if they're just looking for something, or just looking to secure some vision to get this Herald.
Maybe looking to try and do it, but either way, AsstroSmurfs still able to easily get this vision down, as we see Vigor and Twain just...
Good awareness from T-Sums there.
Yeah.
Knowing the Poppy could still be around, getting the vision in the brush and knocking her up, and then giving that information to his team. So we do see Nocturne now with that knowledge heading down towards the bot side. Can he get another punish with this ultimate?
Yeah, I'm going to try and take this Herald.
Ooh, and he is moving, and Arios is still moving back up now to contest.
Yeah, this is looking pretty dangerous now with 3 versus 2 on the side of Astro. The Q going to knock up with both of them. Lovely knock up with the Brawn follow-up with the action damage coming out underward. The Nocturne not going to fall, meaning that they're in the darkness, can't see anything. The paranoia means that The Ares is trying to get the kill on the follow-up, but Dusk is also going to fall on the backside with the Astronaut follow-up as well. Means this is a tragedy coming out for the side of from the side of Odyssey again. Is 9-0 now for the side of AstroSmurfs.
And it is just clinical from AstroSmurfs. They recognize they're not allowed this Herald. This is our Herald. What are they doing here? As they do collapse on both sides, and a beautiful knockup from T-Soms to stop their escape, and then the paranoia coming through. Odyssey have no idea what's going on that side of the map, and they do get both kills up there, and now secure the Heralds. This is just looking a bit of a whitewash at the moment, as it is now a 4K gold lead, but as we said earlier, it feels a lot more than that now. There's no map control from Team Odyssey at the moment, and it just feels like they're losing.
Clinical, which is like, I think you used the word clinical, which is exactly how I'd say how this feels right now. It just feels like every time Odyssey's making a play, it feels like, you know, even if it's a 50-50, okay, so we do see the Vigar Q going to land it, but just nowhere near enough damage to create an impact. But yeah, as you say, it's just every time that they're going for these fights, it feels like they're getting a setup. They've got what they want. Oh, okay, now we're going to land it, and then we get the damage out. Whereas it just feels like, for the side of Odyssey, when they're looking for a play, it seems that AstroSmurf is already aware. They know where they are. They're playing the safe. They're playing at the right times, whereas Odyssey less so is able to do that, I feel like, which is where AstroSmurf is able to get a lot of these advantages, just from catching them out when they're playing, you know, past their turn in a way.
And it is just the lack of cross-mapping for me from Team Odyssey. Like, if we do see that AstroSmurfs are looking to make something happen bot lane, why are we not doing the same top side? Or if they are doing something top side, why are we not doing something bot side? It is just that lack of response from either side of the map. Like, they need to commit somewhere. I mean, they haven't scored a single Harrow, a single Drake. Rack now looking to do something to see some here.
He's really trying. He has been beating on this guy for like maybe 20 seconds now, and he looks like he might get away here. The knockup means that he's actually going to be able to slow again, as the Ezreal follow-up means he's going to miss, but Rack finally able to take down T-Zums, as we do see the Nocturne dropping in the middle lane. The Vigar Cage means that they're going to be safe away. The Poppy come following path towards the Braum Up landing. The big Seraphine ult means they're just going to land. Unfortunately, brought by the Braum Shield. The Swain E going to land with two of them, able to safely get away, but no, I think that's one of the first ults that Nocturne was getting. Nice flasher ult coming out from Nuts. Unfortunately, not able to get that kill as the Ghost Flash, the Panic, the Braum Shield as well. Going to mean that it's all blocked up, as they're able to get this mid lane now with the pressure they're creating. Finally answering back with something.
Shout out to Beckler there. That was a great Locket to save the Swain there. It was the Locket shield that actually saved the Swain. Oh. Yeah, great awareness from Beckler there to save his teammate there. As we do see Rack secure the top inner turret as well. The power of the Trundle taking towers there, as he is able to munch on those as well with his Q. Yeah. He does get the quick. And I do feel Rack in this matchup maybe needs a Blade of the Ruin King, as he is just wailing on that Trundle for the Cho'Gath for the longest time, and is just not doing anything.
You were talking and I was like, I don't need to interrupt him. This is just top laners fighting.
It's just a wet noodle fight for the longest time, and then finally, Rack does manage to get the kill onto T-Sums. But again, T-Sums didn't even burn his flash there. I don't know if it was up at that moment, but he's clearly trying to save that for something else. As we do have a pause here, as Sapana has just disconnected again. So let's just take a bit of stock. Let's have a look at the items. We do see Akshan now with Blade of the Ruin King and the Kraken. We're probably looking to build towards that Infinity Edge, I'd imagine. Potentially the Gale Force, but I feel like the Infinity Edge is a much more higher damage item. He doesn't really need that extra movement once he's got the reset on his E. Two items for the Ezreal as well, with the Static Shiv and the Manamune now completed. Veigar still sat on his fully stacked T. You'd have to imagine that's going towards a Seraph's Embrace and his next item. Just looking for as much survivability as possible now. With three very defensive items, but obviously once Veigar starts getting his stacks up, he doesn't need the damage items, as it does come naturally through his passive. And the Poppy is struggling a little bit. Only has the Frostfire Gauntlet, Iceborne Gauntlet even.
Poppy, unfortunately, I feel like, you know, especially comparatively to Nocturne, has been super invisible this game. I couldn't think of one play off the top of my head that Poppy's been able to get off, you know, or secure an objective. It just feels like, and I feel like that way necessarily about a few of the members on Odyssey right now, like the Ezreal as well. As much as the Ezreal is sitting on about even CS and only had that one death early, it just feels kind of invisible in the game currently. Hopefully, as they scale up into these late game team fights, we can see their comp round out more and see what they're going for in these fights. But honestly, if you're this far behind at this point, I mean, I say that, but they aren't even that far gold behind, but it feels like it, you know?
Yeah, it definitely feels a lot more than it is. Like, AstroSmurfs just have complete control of the map. Able to punish wherever they see fit, and then we do see the Nocturne up again, and potentially could be looking to go on this Veigar again in the mid lane. at some point who doesn't have the flash but only has the exhaust to respond. So we'll see if they do decide to go for that. No, it looks like he's just going to be clearing his bot side jungle. There are camps to farm.
Places to be, camps to farm.
For sure, for sure. And we will see if they can punish this Veigar without the flash and the Seraphine as well. They did blow it at exactly the same time in that last mid lane skirmish. So they are vulnerable for the time being. Zrak was looking to see if he could find a Cho'Gath, but he is sat on vision in there, so we'll just have to go and clear up that wave and possibly move towards, as the Baron has now spawned, both teams looking to start the dance, as they are both looking for positioning on it. I don't think we'll be seeing it taken anytime soon, unless one team does get an overwhelming fight over the other.
It was really hard for both teams to really quickly blow it up. I mean, you got Akshan and Ezreal as the consistent damage on both sides. We see the Brawl not going to land here. Unfortunately, not able to get the E. The Nocturne Paranoia going to drop, but I don't think there's any targets that they can look for here. This is going to be the first wasted Nocturnal of the game so far. A bit, they maybe thought they saw an angle there, but the Veigar cage going to shut them down, mean that it's much harder for them, as we do see Poppy here looking to get that stun onto Judge. As Judgy follows up with the Q, big damage coming out. This means that Jaina's going to fall. Big shutdown landing out as Odyssey able to get that kill. Seraphine not going to land onto the Swain, means that he's going to have to pop ult to use that speed boost to get away. Becca looking to Q to get them away, as this Rift Tower also is dropped in the middle lane. I presume was running low on timer, as they're just going to take this out, meaning that this is getting no value as well. And suddenly, Odyssey have a gold lead.
Odyssey now turning it around, but as we said before, they are down the objectives, and we'll see if they can get this Baron, knowing that the Nocturne ult is down, the Swain ult is down, the Braum ult is down, looking to force the issue here as AsstroSmurfs, they are moving into contest, but TP now coming up from the Trundle, looking to cover it off. Can they get it?
I do think this is a fight they should win. The E gonna land means there's damage coming out. Swain in a very bad position here with the Trundle showing up from behind. Cho'Gath TP coming in, but way too late now. The fight's already way over. This just means this is gonna fall to the side of Odyssey, I would have to imagine. They're looking to maybe get a follow-up fight afterwards. The Baron gonna fall, secured by the side of Odyssey. A bit of an iffy smite, but it's all still fine as they're able to secure it and leave out.
And they do manage to get away with it. And now it is a 2.5k gold lead now, but we'll have to see if they can actually convert this into some pressure on the map, which they have been lacking. Luckily for them, they still do have the mid lane tower up, which potentially could be getting punished, as they are all on reset now from this Baron. As they do give them the mid lane tower here, but a very good turnaround from Odyssey. They're really all starting off with that pick on Jaina in the mid lane, as he was just caught in his stealth out of position by the Poppy. Unfortunately for Odyssey, the shutdown did go onto the Poppy, and I think they probably would have preferred that onto the Ezreal or the Veigar, but still happy to see that gold income come through.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely can happen with the amount that, obviously with Akshan's invisibility, it extends when he's near a wall, so he's going to be camping near them walls, and Poppy just kind of was wandering around, clearing vision, pops in and goes, oh, I'm doing here, able to get the stun, and the Ezreal and the Veigar were just close enough to able to get that follow-up onto it, meaning that, we mentioned earlier, are they going to be able to punish the Veigar and Seraphine flashless, but they're unfortunately not able to, as their flashes are now back up. Veigar cage is going to be dropped, maybe looking to drop some damage here onto him, as the Nocturne not going to follow through, the Paranoia onto the Seraphine, in a bad position here, the flash comes through, means able to get out, lovely Seraphine not landing onto the Braum, and Swain is damage falling onto the Braum, Rack walking in, trying to get that kill onto him, but the stun's going to land, means that he's not able to get that follow-up. Swain not burned, looking to maybe extend this, but it's going to end up now, it's going to expire, as Dust looks to charge, T-Zoms away, maybe look to get something else here, as the Ezreal Q's landing on, keeping that damage coming through, looking to maybe extend this fight as they go again. No casualties so far, a few ults burned, but nothing too major, as it looks like maybe Odyssey get in the position.
Look at the speed of this Poppy now. Dead Man's Play with the Seraphine behind her, pumping in that move speed, and the phase rush on top of it. She's a speedy girl, showing the power of just being able to dash in and out of these fights, as they do manage to secure the dragon.
Okay.
Not where he wanted to be. Instant flash out. I like to see the attempt, because it was their sole point, but I don't think AsstroSmurfs is too sad about this. They are sat on 3 Drakes. It was very much an Odyssey to force the issue there, and coming off that Baron, I do feel it's something they should have conceded anyway. After they did blow the Swain ult, the Nocturne ult on that engage. Great turnaround from Odyssey there. Judgy able to flash out and get a good 2-man Seraphine ult on the return, locking down a few of those targets. As we do see the game start to even up a bit now. It is a 2k gold lead for Odyssey now, and we do...
One Drake.
It does fit, one Drake, yeah. But they are starting to force the issue now, and getting that mid lane tower. Gold is starting to swing quite positively in their direction. And maybe this is the scaling starting to come through.
Yeah, for sure. Eventually, you know, all these the coal stack, the tiers stacked up. It's all turning up the way they want it now.
And now just looking to get that Seraph's Embrace onto the Veigar. He'll be feeling very happy with that, feeling a lot safer from the Nocturne with the shield, the Zhonya's, and the Everfrost now to lock him down if he does get turned on. And quite the advantage now in this top lane as Cho'Gath sat on 11,000 gold compared to the Cho'Gath's 8.5. So Rack really building up an advantage despite the scoreline and does have a shutdown on himself.
Hullbreaker.
And Hullbreaker, very scary. I would like to see this Blade of Runekin come through if he wants to start.
Right.
I feel like he just is going to do negative damage to the Cho'Gath unless he builds that item.
Even as far as he is, he can't like pressure him really at the moment.
No, he's just hitting them with a wet noodle, isn't he? It's just the damage is not coming through. But on other targets, he will be pumping out the damage. The Triforce and the Hydra. With that Hullbreaker, if he's on his own, he will just be very tanky boy. A bit of a raid boss for AsstroSmurfs, who might be starting to sweat now, as they might start to see their undefeated streak look to be defeated here.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the game. I mean, I would say even from the first 5 minutes went okay in Odyssey's favor, but beyond that, from like 5 to 20 minutes, it felt, in my opinion, even with the gold being pretty even, felt like at least AsstroSmurfs was in control of the tempo of the game and pushing the advantages they want. But since that one fight in the mid lane where Jaina got caught out, Action really hasn't been able to get off too much, and they haven't been able to find these picks that they wanted. Their comp definitely relies on picking someone off with this Nocturne or this Akshan, and if they can't, then the team fights become very difficult, especially when playing into Veigar cage, Seraphino, Ezreal backing off with his EQ poke coming out. It can become very difficult.
And if we do take stock of the items here, we do see Akshan has gone for the Ginsu's builds instead of the Infinity Edge, which does surprise me actually. I feel like he could just, with the Infinity Edge, he could just look to one-shot a target, but maybe he's looking to focus down this Trundle, get a bit more damage on the tank. With those extra on-hit procs coming through from the Kraken Slayer as well. And the Black Cleaver now for the Nocturne, looking to shred a bit of armor off of this Poppy and this Trundle, who are going to be menaces for this Akshan to do damage to. And Rylai's now for the Swain, as we talked about earlier. As we do see the Nocturne onto the Seraphine.
Onto the Seraphine, the Fear landing as well. The Seraphine not going to follow up means onto it afterwards. Lovely Veigar cage going to land onto it as well. Judgy walking out on a slither of health. The Red Buff ticking away, but is able to be able to walk out on that tiny bit of health as Rack now looks to try and get this damage onto T-Zons. I don't know why I'm commentating this excitedly, because this is just going to be a slap. I'm walking on
It's just a slap. And I did love the Protect the President in the end there, as we did see 3 bodies around the Seraphine trying to stop any skill shots as she's running away with the red buff ticking.
As we are going to see here is that, I mean, yeah, Ares just got a little bit too excited. Thought he saw the Seraphine out of position. But, you know, if you aren't able to immediately burst down that Seraphine, she gets that follow-up, stuns you up as the Q is going to land onto her. I mean, she does fall with the T-Zones coming with the gank. Going to get stunned into that wall, and the follow-up means that he is going to fall down. Swain ult coming out as well, stood inside of it. Unfortunately, Dusk able to try and get down that action, able to get him down with the exhaust damage coming out. Swain ticking away here as he is going to fall down, as it looks like 4 members of Odyssey up. It's going to be very dangerous here with only the Braum and the Nocturne up. It's going to be difficult for them to be able to do much. As you know, Rack is ready, able to go in that damage. Immediately, he shreds down this Nocturne. This is insane. He's looking to maybe just go for a bit more here.
I think they're just going for the end here. Can they get it? They have no minions.
No, attack
speed is
he doesn't care. Look at him. Oh, no.
Oh, maybe a bit of overheat.
That Fear going to land as well means that after coming out of here, not able to get that damage off, his nuts going to stopwatch, but unfortunately, I don't think Organic can finish them off here. Maybe get a bit greedy. The Flash Cage going to come out. Begler landing the Q, though, going on a killing spree himself, shutting down that Veigar, and woof.
Whoa, bit of overheat maybe there from from Rack there, as he did get the one tower.
He was playing Rumble.
Apparently, yeah. As we do take stock, there is the Drake spawner now, and this is the Mountain Soul for AsstroSmurfs. They look to claim it, and
that's so sad.
Odyssey are on reset with a few death timers still.
The Seraphine not going to land. The Ares, Kagami looking to get his damage out on the side. The action not coming through. Judge able to flash over the wall means that he's not going to fall. Kind of okay considering.
Actually, not bad for Odyssey when you took into perspective. It does stop them getting straight onto that Drake timer and does give them a bit of pause whilst their Trundle and Veigar come to respawn just now. And we'll be beelining it down towards that Drake, as I do anticipate a big game-winning fight here potentially for Odyssey if they can convert it. As Baron is up as well, so whoever wins this may just either end the game or take the Baron and snowball from there.
I could not believe that they went for that end. Like I
That was a
the
brave
end,
choice.
But when the minions died, I was like, okay, they got the first tower, they're gonna back off, and then Rack just started beating on the second tower, and I was like, I don't know if you can do this, as we are looking maybe to see that they are going to look to trade the dragon for the Baron here, but less so. They're actually just walking away from the Baron, walking down to this dragon, giving it up for free, not even
Astro
contesting.
potentially fumbling there. I think they could have even just started the Baron and forced people to move over, but they did decide against it quite quickly, as Odyssey did just instantly take the Drake there.
Yeah, even if they just started it up to make them walk into them so they can get set up into the river, it would have been nice, but they literally conceded the dragon for nothing and then immediately gave up position in the river as well. So
Also
maybe
just
feeling
handed
the
over
pressure
all
of it
that
here.
vision they just had built up, giving away that Drake.
Poppy looking to get the Q here. Gonna burn that shield off from Braum.
Doesn't manage to hit the wall, unfortunately, but not too worried. But look at that speed. With the
fast.
She has the blue smite as well, actually. That's the other little burst of speed she's getting from the brushes.
Oh, looking to get some into the wall there. Okay, gonna get that sun up into the wall. The follow-up onto Braum, but Braum is tanky, not necessarily the target you want to be going for. But Nocturne not gonna land, going onto the Seraphine in the backline, but big Seraphine once again means that Nocturne is just gonna fall before his team's even able to follow up. Judgy once again living on a sliver of HP with the Swain not dropping. But T-Zums here alone, get a knock up onto 2, but his team is walking away. This is looking like a gone fight for them, and probably Baron, or maybe just going to look for the end here, as they look to maybe push this lane out. Jaina looking to clear the way, but unfortunately in a bad position here, going to have to E away as try and look to get this recall off so that they can stop them. Rat going to look here for Sapana, going to look at the Swain, definitely looking very dangerous here, going to look to blow up this tower and then look towards taking him out. Going to get that pillar means that he's in a very dangerous position here. No ult either means that he is just going to fall here, looking to maybe chase him down. The Vigor cage going to land me that they're going to fall, and this is looking like it's going to be a win for Odyssey. The upset coming through. Kagili going to stop this recall, meaning that it's very hard for Jen to get back. Going to swing around on this Dragon Pit, but it doesn't mean much when your base is falling down, as the Odyssey is going to look to secure the massive upset, end AsstroSmurfs' undefeated streak, and secure a win for themselves.
Wow, what a game from Odyssey there. Did look a bit shaky at first, but they really did come through with the scaling. We saw the power of the Seraphine Veigar at the end there. You just throw down the cage, you throw down the Seraphine, and there was no way for AsstroSmurfs to reply.